Let's jump right into it. Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we are exploring the brilliant economic mind of a guy named Kautilya. You might actually know him better as Chanakya or Vishnugupta. He was literally the legendary advisor to Chandragupta Maurya, the original founder of the Mauryan Empire. We're going to unpack his ancient economic ideas from thousands of years ago, and honestly, you're going to see just how incredibly relevant they still are today.
But okay, to truly wrap our heads around his ideas, we first need to look at his magnum opus, the Arthashastra. Basically, it's an ancient Indian treatise on statecraft, governance, and economics. But don't let the word treatise fool you into thinking it's just some dry, theoretical textbook. It's actually a highly detailed master guide. It literally instructed a king on exactly how to efficiently rule and manage every single aspect of a kingdom, going all the way down to explaining the very origin of the nation itself. And when I say detailed, I mean this text was written on a truly massive scale. We're talking 15 chapters and an incredible 180 sections. It covers a staggering range of topics: government administration, the economy, finance, trade, commerce, military warfare, and, just the general welfare of the people. Kautilya left absolutely no stone unturned in building a society. Okay, let's dive into this and focus strictly on the specific economic ideas he laid out. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at 5 thematic pillars of Kautilya's economic doctrine: the true meaning of wealth, economic roles in society, the backbone of prosperity, the rights of workers, and finally, humane treatment in servitude.
Starting us off with Pillar 1, the true meaning of wealth.
For Kautilya, a nation's strength and a full treasury go hand in hand. You simply cannot have a strong, secure nation without a robust treasury to back it up. But wealth was viewed really broadly in the Arthashastra. It wasn't just about hoarding gold or coins. Wealth included money, sure, but also land, all natural resources, and even animals. But here is the major caveat, and Kautilya was super strict about this. All this wealth absolutely had to be earned honestly. And beyond that, it had to be used strictly for the welfare of society. A king was definitely not allowed to use the nation's wealth for his own personal, selfish benefits. The ruler's number one duty was to increase the wealth of the state, and, by doing that, actively increase the income and welfare of the people. And this brilliantly illustrates the moral distinction Kautilya made between accumulation and hoarding. Accumulating wealth, that's seen as a highly positive duty for a king, but only if it's being saved to help the public during emergencies, like natural calamities. Think of it like a giant public rainy day fund. On the flip side, he strictly warned against hoarding wealth just for selfish personal benefit. Wealth has a distinct purpose, and that purpose is to be a safety net for public welfare.
Moving right along to Pillar 2, economic roles in society.
Let's look at how this ancient society was historically structured to maintain economic order and assign specific duties. During this era, society was divided into 4 varnats. Kautilya supported this structure specifically as an economic division of labor. You had the Brahmins, who functioned as scholars and priests, the Kshatriyas, who were the rulers and warriors. The Vaishyas operated as traders and farmers, and the Shudras were the workers and helpers. So, from an objective historical perspective, Kautilya viewed this social pyramid as a completely pragmatic tool to maintain societal order. It ensured everyone had a clearly assigned duty to keep the ancient economy functioning smoothly without descending into chaos.
Next up is Pillar 3, the backbone of prosperity.
Now, Kautilya defined that backbone as agriculture and animal husbandry. He considered these to be the absolute primary sources of a kingdom's income and its overall prosperity. Because agriculture was so vital, Kautilya argued the state had a direct, hands-on responsibility to support its farmers. The government was expected to actively provide seeds, agricultural tools, and irrigation facilities. Rulers were supposed to fix crop prices to ensure economic stability and offer robust relief to farmers during natural disasters. When you step back and really look at it, this multi-pronged, state-supported safety net sounds surprisingly modern, right? It's remarkably similar to today's government agricultural insurance and subsidy programs.
And right alongside crops, animal husbandry was highly encouraged. Raising cattle and other livestock was deemed completely essential to maintaining this robust agricultural economy. The state actually ran awareness campaigns, think ancient PSAs, to encourage people to raise livestock, ensuring the economic backbone remained strong, well-fed, and diversified.
Let's move to Pillar 4 and see how this builds the rights of workers.
Well, without workers, neither agriculture nor industry could function, right? And Kautilya held a surprisingly progressive stance on labor protection for his time. He was absolutely adamant about preventing the exploitation of labor. He mandated that workers must receive fair and timely wages. You couldn't just casually delay a worker's pay. And crucially, those wages had to be based strictly on their actual effort and hard work. You couldn't expect a worker to do back-breaking labor and pay them a pittance. The compensation had to match the physical output. Plus, he actively supported the settlement of labor disputes to protect the working class from unfair employers.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is Kautilya's declaration that employers must pay full wages even if they remove a worker before the task is finished. Yes, you heard that right. If the employer terminates the job early, the worker still gets their full expected compensation. This ancient mandate feels remarkably like the modern concept of severance pay or guaranteed contract payouts. No way, right? It's pretty amazing.
Finally, we reach Pillar 5, Humane Treatment in Servitude. To understand ancient Indian economics fully, we have to look objectively at the historical existence of servitude during this period. In ancient India, servants were predominantly domestic helpers who worked around the household. But unlike the brutal systems of slavery seen elsewhere in global history, Kautilya implemented incredibly strict rules, demanding they be treated humanely and with immense respect. These servants had the right to earn their freedom. They were explicitly allowed to marry. They could maintain their own families. And, incredibly for the era, they were permitted to own their own property. Kautilya made it an absolute, unbreakable rule that brutality against servants was strictly forbidden.
So what does this all mean? The crucial point here is that these ideas from ancient India aren't just dusty history. They echo incredibly loudly today. How do Kautilya's ancient economic policies compare to our modern systems of welfare and labor rights? From state-funded disaster relief for farmers to fair wages, severance pay, and humane treatment directives, it's absolutely fascinating to see how relatable these foundational concepts truly are. And that wraps up Part 1 of our deep dive into Kautilya's Arthashastra. We've only covered half of his economic doctrine today, so keep these concepts fresh in your mind, and I'll see you in the next explainer to uncover the rest.